5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
Good morning, good morning. Do you hear that echo? Can you hear an echo, Tim? Nod your head. Good, good. I'm having this weird slap back in my headphones, which makes it a little weird to talk because I'm kind of hearing it like a millisecond later. So pulling me backwards like the delay speakers at a concert. So, good morning, everybody. I have Tim McMurdy this morning of OMB with me. And I've also going to be talking about a great studio that Tim's and I are both affiliated with through various adventures. Great studio, great people. But before we get into that, I'll have him on after the break. Let's take a look at some of the news. Okay. Crypto creep found guilty. Apparently this guy who he positioned himself as a really cool guy to invest with. You give him your money, you'll get rich. But remember, people, somebody tells you that things are going to be so great, you're going to get 90% return on your return. You're going to go crypto. Trust me, it's bullshit. There is no easy way to invest, and it's just one of those things. You got to know what you're doing or find somebody who does. So I'm not surprised. This young guy, he's 31, Bankman-Fried, Sam Bankman-Fried. He has a hyphen for his name. He must be very cool. He's actually a real douchebag. He's gotten money laundering. He's like a new model of Madoff. And I don't know, I think people like that who steal like old people's retirements, I think once they're guilty, we should have a lottery and we have like 5,000 people who had their cash stolen. We give them little tiny, like, bamboo spears that you put skewered meat onto. And you get them in a cage, and you just get everybody who's been ripped off to just stab the shit out of them for about a half an hour. How's that, man? Is that metal or what, Tim? I've got metal this morning. I'm going to bring him on. Hey, man.
What's up, bro? That's like what they did to Caesar.
Absolutely, but even better because it's just a little poke at a time, you know? I mean, Madoff's kid killed himself out of shame from his dad.
It's disgusting, man. I mean, he made off with everybody's money. It was the perfect name for it. Yeah. But I mean, it's just a shame. People are the world is at its worst point ever with greed and people that just don't care. They have zero fucks about anything. They're just animals out there. They're not grounded. They're just, I don't know what it is. It's like some new like trigger went off in so many people's minds these days to where they're just like absolutely out of their minds.
I don't know what it is. It's a different mindset completely. In fact, some of these young people, they like remind me of little communists in East Berlin back in the 70s.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It actually inspires me to keep writing and doing what I do musically because they're giving me so much to bitch about. You know, Angry Corpses bitches about assholes.
Like your song, No Fucks Given.
Zero fucks, yeah.
Zero fucks, man. I mean, that's a great song.
Tim, formerly of MOD, Tim McMurtry, formerly of MOD. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, Zero Fucks was basically not saying that we actually give zero fucks. It's because we actually care. We actually care. It's the people that run the whole world, which are all the rich and elites of the world.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit about anything.
They're all getting old and they're going to croak soon. And that's part of the reason, in my opinion. But I just feel like well, I don't know what the fuck's up with people, man. But like, you know what? It's just absolutely shameful. It's plain to see. And the people that can't see this, what's going on, are just like, they're so conformed and blind. I just don't know what to say. I can't even believe that they're human. They're almost like robots.
It's almost like they've given up thinking and questioning things. I never thought the hippies of the 70s would turn into a bunch of commie little shits now at all, because it was such a different mentality.
Listen,
These
my
people
father
are
fought
angry.
My father fought in World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was at D-Day. He was at the Battle of the Bulge.
Mm-hmm.
He helped to build the pontoon bridges to cross over into Germany over the Rhine River. Like, when they got to Germany at the end of the war, the Russians were there with them. And my father and all the guys, as much as they were happy that the war was over, honestly, they were like, we got them right here.
Patton said, let's just keep going to Moscow.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew it was a fucking problem with communists. I mean, anybody that sides with communism and communists is a fucking absolute piece of crap.
They're lame and they're stupid.
What's wrong with you? Do you really want to be controlled and give everything over, let the government control you like that? I mean, you don't
even control the art.
Free mind.
I don't think Angry Corpses
talk about slavery and this, that, and all this stuff that they're against. You're in chains with communism. I mean, what's wrong with you?
I never thought it would happen where people would be so dumbed down that they would accept it.
It's ridiculous.
You know, we used to value people who are exceptional, but now it's all got to be leveled. Everybody needs a trophy. I hate that shit. If you're a sports guy.
Thank God my son, he actually, when they won trophies back in his day, it was still, he's 26 now, but I remember going to his football games and all that. They didn't give everybody trophies. They gave the winners trophies. You got to earn this shit. You gotta earn everything you do in your life. You can't just keep living off of, like, a lot of people in our country live off the government, and they know that they don't have to, but they do, and that's another form of slavery. I mean, people just don't understand what they're doing. I mean, even if they're just going, fuck it, I don't care, and I don't care no more. And that's another problem. A lot of people just don't care anymore. They had enough.
I know people who are very political, and a lot of them are saying, I don't even want to vote. Like, they're discouraged on both sides.
That's what they did. They got people so with their arms in the air that people are actually like, they just don't give a shit. Like me, I don't like any politicians. I don't care.
I agree with you.
They're all corrupt. They're all a bunch of thieves.
When you meet them, they're all mediocre people.
Agendas, and they know what their agendas are, and none of it's been for the people. We're all bottom feeders, and everybody is out of their mind if they don't realize what they're doing, or like they don't see where this is all going. You just really got to be out of your mind. They talk about conspiracy theory, this and that. Here's another thing you just want to keep on trying to push out there to try to pat yourself on the back because you think you're doing the right thing, when actually you're part of the worst thing the thing that's gonna dump all over the rest of the world. This is garbage. Garbage.
Well, we got in a crazy time of history, and
it's scary.
If anybody really thinks they know what this could turn into, I don't think they have a clue. It's like Ukraine's turned into World War I. It's stalemate in the trenches. Unless they nuke, it's not going to go far.
Listen, I just said to these kids today, all out here, they're all on their phones. They look in their phone for everything. Right. The phone is constantly in their hands. They just don't go out into reality. They don't understand in a second, you could have a headache, even in this country, and not even know. You're not going to know what to do. You're going to piss in your pants,
right?
And you're not going to be prepared for what could happen in a second, like what happened again, back to what happened with my father and his generation, the greatest generation ever.
They're talking about reinstating the draft, Which when these kids get that alert
Oh,
on their phone, they're gonna go. They think they have problems now.
exactly.
They ain't
That's
no
my old.
idea.
They're not ready. They can't cook a fucking egg.
I
They
know.
can't scramble eggs.
Listen, I
They
got to go
can't.
to a commercial
They,
break real quick,
how
and we'll
could
be right back. Here we are. We'll be right back with Tim McMurdy.
They sentenced me to 20 years of boredom for trying to change the system from within. I'm coming now, I'm coming to reward them.
Man, oh God, that echo's driving me out of my mind completely.
sorry
Okay.
about that.
I'm sorry too, guys. I'm having a hard time with
I
my
don't hear it on here. We don't hear
good.
it coming
The
through.
it's really hard because now a window popped up and it's just blocking. I don't want to reconnect. I want you to just go away. There we go. There we go. Now I'm back. So
Weird.
I'm gonna run. I'm sorry. Let's we're gonna skip that commercial break. Don't worry, guys. Your ads will play in the next segment. I don't want anybody out there getting upset. So let's talk about the band and talk about Bulletproof and
Sure.
how did you find them?
Okay. Well, it's pretty crazy. Like, I've been, besides being a musician since I was, probably, I mean, a professional one, I guess, when I was 18, because I
Hmm.
got signed at 18. And that's how the connection is with Johnny
And
and
Johnny Z.
and Johnny Z, because they knew each other. And that's like, it's weird. The guy that I worked with that owned Tracks East, Eric Rachel, amazing producer.
Hmm.
Eric and Steve Evans came out of Tracks East in South River. I was doing records over there. Johnny knew them too. That's how Rhythm of Fear in 1992 came.
Okay.
We produced it there. MOD's album. But I stayed friends with Eric all these years. We've been producing other bands and artists together, so I'm also producing.
Hmm.
And Eric moved over to John Albino's studio over
Hmm.
at Bulletproof, and he goes, "Hey, let's record over here." So when we did the first EP, it was entitled "Hate." It was MOD Classic TK at that time.
Right.
It
Right.
was an MOD thing because we kind of won the rights of usage in court, but we actually dropped it and then did the next EP. We went back to our original name, Angry Corpses. It's the final EP with Kenny Balone on it. My brother, he passed away
I'm sorry.
a little over a year ago. It's sad because it was the last recording. This album's still coming out. It's called Resurrected. It's on Upstate Records. There's 3 songs out already. Singles with videos are all on YouTube with Angry Corpses. And the final one is featuring Capadonna of the Wu-Tang Clan.
All
He
right.
actually got on this song. So it's going to be dropping probably soon. I mean, just stay focused. Look at our pages and Instagrams and all that.
Sure.
But that's how it all happened. It all happened because I started recording at Bulletproof, and then getting to know John. We love music and all, and we were just like, you know what, this studio's awesome. And because of COVID, he created this amazing. Well, he created this room not just because of COVID, but
Right.
this live room he has is amazing. I mean, the lighting, the sound.
That song that just played was recorded at Bulletproof. The song
Exactly.
in the commercial, and I love the drum sound in there. That's why I went there.
The drums are great.
The high ceiling. I was
Yeah.
looking for a room that had that girth.
Oh, has-
And
I know. Because
it's a great room.
my drummer James DeMaria, who played in Heathen and Toxic,
Mm-hmm.
and he played on my record. This dude killed it in there, and the room's great. I mean, the
Yeah,
drums.
I liked it because I went in and I played and I recorded it, and then I went back in and listened. And what I was hearing at my kit with no headphones on was what I was hearing on the mix. And
Oh no, totally.
it was great. I mean, the drums sound like cannons, and I was thrilled.
Exactly.
And my friend Jer,
Every drum in there, the kick, everything,
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah,
But
and your stuff, the kick drum is great. There's like on the subwoofer, the low end is just, it's tight as hell. I mean, I love it.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a different drummer. That
Uh,
the songs we did on Resurrected is with Walt Monster Ryan, who's
okay.
played Madball, DRI, to name a few. Fucking guy's amazing, and he recorded out in L.A. He
Hmm.
did when he was living out in California. It's crazy. The recording world, like on both of these EPs now, everyone's just emailing over their recordings.
Right.
I would piece the whole song together, track everything, and even sing on it, shoot it
Hmm.
out to all my guys, and they would return it with all their fire on
Right.
there, and that's that. And then we would mix it. But ultimately, when I met John, we started talking about that live room, and then I'm like, dude, this is great to have some shows here. Like, yeah, we're already doing some shows and like comedy shows, all kinds of little.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I used to do shows. So I have a production company called Trip Squad Productions.
Right.
I formed in 1992. After my band Rhythm Trip, it actually became. It started with Rhythm Trip. It was birthed with Rhythm Trip, the
Hmm.
band, and it was pretty wild. I just started doing shows at a place called the Blue Room in Sea Caucus, and I
Okay.
started having some of the most biggest rappers of all time there,
Hmm.
including some big hardcore bands, big metal bands. Like,
Excellent.
we got lucky, had Soulfly there once because of my boy Mark Rizzo. They had a makeup show and got them to come. But like, it just bottom line is, I love doing music. I love putting on shows.
Hmm.
It's great. It became like another little side hustle that I got
Sure.
in my life. So what's going on is we started doing some shows there. So I think we're on our like eighth or ninth show right now down there.
Right.
So bands and artists of
Hmm.
all genres, everything from
Do
hip
you know
hop.
John's playing tomorrow night at the
Yeah, John.
studio?
Well, that's what I was going to say. But bands and artists of all kinds get at me because
Hmm.
we're doing all these shows there. Plus, I have a couple other venues I'm working on. But John,
Great.
the owner, yes, his band John's Crossing is
Hmm.
performing tomorrow night, and it's a mashup. It's a thing I used to start at Blue Room when I had it called musical mashup. So it's
Hmm.
basically you're going to hear all the three different types of bands that are going to perform,
Hmm.
as well as like a few rappers that are going to get up and perform. So it's
Excellent.
kind of like mixing up and letting everyone kind of see what we all do
Hmm.
that maybe never have before, like kind of like mixed it like that. It's cool. It brings everyone together.
Sometimes you have to almost force people to listen to something. They hear it once and they're like, "Wow, I love that." It's,
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've
you know,
had rappers like that.
I'll
Holy
tell you a funny story. You remember
street guys
niggers?
that are like listen to rock for the first time, like live, and they're like, wow,
Do you
that's dope.
remember
You know?
NWA?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a friend when they came out and we worked together.
One
He's
of
a
my favorites.
little heavy metal kid, right? I'm playing in a well-known ska band, like a
Scott, yeah.
more original band. Anyhow,
You weren't in
um,
Inspector 7, were you?
no, the
Those are
band
my
was called
friends.
the Shake Society.
Oh, okay.
But we played everything. I had a heavy metal guitar player who would shred. We were the hardest skanking band you'd ever hear when we had Jerry
Cool.
with us. It was cool.
Dope.
Um, what was I going to say? Tampa. Have you in touch with any of the heavy metal bands from there, like Cannibal Corpse and guys like that?
I know who they all are. I don't know them personally, but
That's
yeah,
cool.
I dig them all. And,
Right.
obviously, everyone knows Cannibal Corpse, but I have friends that are really into those type of genres, like that book those guys and
Right.
book a lot of heavy stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
That,
But I toured with Exodus back
right.
in 88. So
Hmm.
I've been playing with some bands that became iconic, the Big Four
Sure.
type, which is pretty dope that I got to play with guys like that. Megadeth open.
Absolutely.
I got blessed with my band Rhythm Trip to open for Type O Negative, Madball, Life
Very
of
cool.
Agony, and Motorhead.
All
Believe it or
right.
not.
Fucking Lemmy, man.
The
That's the
best
best.
story I've had of my life was Motorhead show because it was the last show on tour with Rhythm Trip. It was in Dietzenbach, Germany, and it was
Uh-huh.
an open air festival. So there was like 60,000 people there at the end of the day. But when we got on, we opened it, and there was around 45,000 maybe at that point or less,
Excellent.
whatever. we opened it. We're like, yo, we're from New Jersey. We're Rhythm Chip. This is how it goes down. Boom. And went into the songs and hyped everyone up.
Yeah.
Actually, my singer even threw his brand new Nikes or whatever he had. He always had dope sneakers. He threw them into the crowd.
I love
And
it.
later
I
on,
love it.
the kids found us and had him sign them. But
Mm-hmm.
when we got off stage, Lemmy was right there, and he recognized me from the MOD days, I guess, while I was playing.
Right.
So he's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Well, are you kidding me? It's Lemmy, man. What's up?" I couldn't believe it. He took me backstage, and we drank with him all day. We had
All right.
Jack and Cokes, and then got to stand on stage and hang out with him during him performing, which was out of this world, you know. So
that's seriously, and it's like one of those icons. I've never met him, and I would have given my eye teeth to do a gig with him.
Party with him all day and have
nice.
that time. It's something that I'll never forget. Something
he was the real McCoy of rock stars. That guy was hand carved, one of a kind.
He was the coolest guy ever. I mean, he had us right up on the stage. It was so fucking loud. We were already from the tour, and we had to put shit in our ears because the fucking the things they gave us weren't even hell. It was so loud, and we're like, how is this guy killing it right now on stage? We were drinking all day with him. We were the first band. We're like, wow, it's incredible, man.
It's amazing he survived as long as he did. I mean, the guy is just iconic, and he lives hard, but man,
he's living forever, man. And like, legend.
It always impressed me. Most bass players don't sing very well. I mean, Paul McCartney, he does a good job, but a lot of times bass players, I've noticed, just aren't usually singers. And I mean, there's exceptions, but the guy, I used to watch him and just go, damn, he'd be just rambling along, tearing the shit up.
Yeah, he jammed on that bass steady. It was like, it's not like all these stops and starts like Slayer and all bands.
No.
Like,
I mean, he was grinding on that thing.
Accent. It was always rocking out, like just like rocking, man.
That's very cool.
I'm sure a little bit.
How do the promoters over in Europe that you work with, do they do other genres, or are they primarily promoting the metal scene?
Well, I'm actually about to get like get back out there, and I'm kind of just starting to. There's rumors of people that we're going to start talking with and stuff. So, but when I was out there, a lot of them guys aren't still there. I think from the '90s, late '90s.
Sure.
Things change, and so I don't really know. But like I know that the metal and hardcore scene is so strong out there.
Huge there, bigger than here, I think.
US that wants to play. And try to make something out of it is really doing it in Europe. I mean, Europe's the place. Everybody knows that.
It's funny because they're so much more tolerant of different stuff.
The U.S. is tough. It's just a lot tougher. I mean, everybody knows we love playing here. Obviously,
right?
It's just a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do things, make ends meet. It's just like Europe, like they got huge festivals when you're going out there all the time. Like sometimes bands go out and play like 5 or 6 of those.
Right.
Come home, and it's a score, for bands because like
absolutely
there's no money out there no more, and it's not like no one does this for money anyway. Everybody's doing it to rock out and have fun and get their shit off on stage. I mean, that's what I.
Yeah. So. Well, let me see. Have you ever seen John's band play?
No, this is going to be the first time, which I'm very excited about that.
Oh, cool.
Definitely, I've been starting to listen to a lot of his stuff, and it's well written. He sings well, and obviously, we all know if you know John, he's a songwriter, and he's very good. I don't even know his whole history, but from what I understand, he's written some big songs with some really big artists before. Yeah, so he's the real deal, and
he's definitely the real deal. And I say that because ever since I met him, My former coworker and keyboard player was JR, the engineer there for about 3 years. And unfortunately, he sadly passed away 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that.
He was a great guy. We both were Full Sail guys from the 90s. And then we ended up working at the same studio for like 10 years in Florida. We worked in a jingle factory. I affectionately called it the Sausage Factory. My boss didn't like that name, but I said, that's all we're doing is we're making sausage, man. We throw this shit out. I'd have a posse of musicians come in, the best people I could get in town. And we just get in there and lay out like 5-10 jingles in an afternoon, you know. Wow. Not the singing, but we'd get the music beds.
Uh-huh.
It was a sausage factory, man. We just, you know, comes in meat, went out in a nice wrap package, and then the money came back, you know. Really cool.
I heard about jingles, never got to do one, but I do know some people that have. It's pretty interesting, and you know,
it can be.
It might be on my checklist because now that I'm getting older, that's all I've been doing is, you know, putting off my checklist. But here's the thing that people don't know about Trip Squad. It's kind of weird. I hashtag myself as the thrasher that books famous rappers because it's funny. I'm a total thrasher. That's what I'm all about. And I do book all famous rappers. I've had everyone from like Common. I've had Talib Kweli and members of Wu-Tang Clan.
That's very cool.
Jones to now just had Bobby Schmurder, and I'm doing it again, so it's pretty wild. That's
right.
It's like I'm kind of known for that stuff.
Right.
I'm very heavily embedded into the local musicians and artists. So, you know, at Bulletproof Studios and Olives in Nyack, you know, I'm booking up there too, and I'm booking at Dingbat. So, you know, if artists want to get at me for stuff, you know, that just hit me up at 201-923-7979. So you can hit me.
Hear that? And one more time.
Yeah, 201-923-7979 to get on shows in Jersey and New York State.
How about it, people? Just keep this guy's number. I'll say this. If you call him and you tell him you heard him here, you better be fucking good, man. Don't go up there if you're not going to waste the man's time. And I say that because I know how it is.
Yeah, because that's very true. There are people that book stuff, then they just cancel with you. Like it's like, it's hard. They think it doesn't matter, but it does because you're trying to critique your show. And here it is. They'll cancel on you last minute for some fucked up shit or whatever.
I hate that. And it's tough. Integrity's everything.
Serious happens, it is what it is, but
definitely
a lot of people come up with some real lame excuses like, you know, I forgot my book bag, teacher, don't be mad at me.
Right. Or my girlfriend, you know,
it's
cramps.
Yeah. My girlfriend got into an accident.
Yeah.
It's always something.
Well, listen, we're going to be right back. You're live with Neve, and we're talking to Tim McMurdy, and we'll be right back.
There's some changes headed like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island shore. And I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been opened in the restless shade.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Like a melting flake of snow this year. I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
I would have said it.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve or Neve or Neve. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
All right, we're back with Tim McMurdy.
Hey, there was some things I wanted to mention with this studio, really, that people don't understand what they get out of coming, the experience of coming to Bulletproof. Mm-hmm. It's really great because if the bands bring 10 heads out mm-hmm. and we make real great tickets, not only do they get to split that money, mm-hmm. which is unheard of right now. Most clubs, sure. They'll take 10 tickets, which is like $20 a ticket, $200, and then they give you $3 a ticket after the first 10.
Right.
So it's kind of like robbing.
It's lopsided.
You know what I mean? So what I do is, bring out 10 heads. Mm-hmm. We split it, and it goes to 30 heads, a split, and then everything after you keep the full $20 ticket. But also what you do is if you sell the 10 tickets and you get the 10 heads there with the split of 100 each, you get the video that Franco Frasetti and Mudbuck Photography film, a free video for you guys. Mm-hmm. That's a professional grade video that you can use for all your socials and all your stuff.
Right.
That right there is like a $300 value in my opinion. Like
absolutely. Franco's great. I mean,
Franco's amazing. I mean, and that's the thing that we're doing. We're bringing people in and bands in because I have a list, like you would say Rolodex, but it's all on the phone. I have so many bands from booking since 16 years strong. Right. So, and a lot of them aren't no longer together, but most of them are all still there. I'd say 75%.
That's great.
All new bands hitting me up now, but ultimately we're bringing the bands down there to experience the studio, to check out the studio, to know that we're producers, that we can produce your next record, your next EP. Mm-hmm. We have connections in the industry, so we do have a lot of connections up our sleeve with publicists, from publicists to management to labels. I mean, even though the business ain't the same, it's really shit the bed. It's really shit the bed as far as I'm concerned. It sucks.
I was trying to tell somebody young yesterday how much more money you will make if you're doing your own merchandising and CDs.
You have to.
They were thinking the old school. They thought they're going to get a big advance. I said they don't even until you have a package.
With advances nowadays, they are still out there.
Yeah.
All advances towards recording, but most of us record and we spend the money out of pocket. So that's another reason why, back to what I'm saying is, we'll work with your budget at Bulletproof.
Right.
So if bands are wanting to do something, we work with your budgets. We also do video, obviously real videos. We can get actors, do storyboards with you, the whole nine, and do videos. And if you want to check out Franco's work, some of it, you could definitely go to Angry Corpse's YouTube, put Angry Corpses in, and then just check out the videos there. Because all three of them, Kill the Bully, Zero Fucks, and the new one with Dirty Walt from Fishbone, the Always Right Guy, they're all up right.
I have to say, I enjoyed being the devil for a few moments.
It
was really fun. If you ask people, some of my girlfriends, they'll tell you he is the devil. So I enjoyed it. I figured I'd maybe meet my next wife to buy a car or something for her. I'm kidding, really.
She could strike the lottery. She could be like one of those, what do they call them? With the claws, the fucking, what do they call them? The cougars.
Oh, yeah. You know it. We like those. I live in a place full of them. It's great. Love New Jersey, man.
Yeah, man.
So, what are you guys doing next? How many tunes before the next album comes out do you have to
Well,
finish?
we're gonna just drop this last single in video with featuring Capadonna. It's called Disorder. Cap from the Wu-Tang Clan. Obviously, they just been touring, and once this one drops, we're basically gonna finish. We're coincide it with our last 5 shows that we're gonna do. We're gonna do 5 shows on the West Coast, and it looks like that's gonna be. I can't announce everybody who's on it yet because we're still booking it right now. We're announcing that soon, and that's going to coincide with the last single and video that's going to drop, and then we have all new stuff that's coming for 2024. Looks like we got interested people that want to book us, which is great. So that because I've been doing most of the bookings,
right?
And we're hoping that we do have an offer on the table through our singer Donnie for putting out the next record. So all this is all
it's all coming together.
All good stuff. It's all
Definitely.
good stuff because what's better than having your front man, your singer, in control of what's going on with the music and how it's going to be marketed and pushed and promoted, So
Sure.
I'm excited about that. He's got Force 5 records, Donnie Polinsky, the DRP. Shout out to my brother. He's the singer Angry Corpses, and he's an amazing rapper, amazing producer, and
that's great. Did you know him from playing in another band, or how did he come into the fold?
No, yeah, I was on tour actually with a singer that I was managing at the time, and they were opening for Twisted. Those guys Twisted were kind of like juggalos, like Insane Company.
Okay.
In that,
right.
their own thing. But where I'm on the road, and Donnie's at one of the shows, and we started talking, and we got connected through somebody. I'm not sure how we connected, but we connected. And then Donnie, I didn't think nothing of him doing something with me really. And all of a sudden, like a couple of years later, we're looking for me and Kenny. We're looking for the right front man, and then Donnie came to mind.
Great.
And then I don't know how it all connected. I don't remember, but I know that he sent me his stuff when he was in Soar and Primer 55.
Gotcha.
And his voice shreds. I mean, he's up there with anyone I've ever heard.
He's excellent.
Shredding vocalist, like Phil from Pantera, the dude from Hatebreed, Jamie, our old singer in MOD. It doesn't matter. He's up there with that and that caliber, in my opinion.
I love the record. What I've heard of it.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming on, man. It's good talking to you.
Thanks for having me on again.
Anytime. You've got these events, so send me your calendar and stuff, and I'll talk about it. And
sure, Neil. Thank you very much, man. Anybody?
And if I see anything cool out there, I'll send it your way, because I see a lot of bands come through here. And
bands you talk to, solo artists.
Yeah.
It don't matter. They could be a country singer. They could be a rapper. They could be, a reggae band. I mean,
I'm going out.
Metal bands, punk band. I don't care. Whoever ska bands, whatever, man. We got plenty of room for you and things to do at this awesome studio, Bulletproof Music Studios in Hazlet, New Jersey. Trip Squad Productions on Instagram with a Z. Productions with a Z. TSP Tim on Instagram. You can call me or text 201-923-7979 and go check out my website. 30 years of music and artwork thrown onto clothing like this, hoodies, everything at TripSquadUnlimited.com.
TripSquadUnlimited.com, people. All right, everybody. It's Friday. I'll see you at 4 o'clock. I have a blues lady who's going to be talking about her 50 years with her mom, also a blues singer. And it's going to be a great show. So see you at 4 o'clock. We're out of here.